Hi everybody, this is Taylor and welcome back for another episode of Tech Then versus Now. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the evolution of cell phones. As you can see from the variety of cell phones on the table here, there has been a tremendous evolution from the first phone that was introduced in 1983 to what we see today. When we think about those early cell phones, we think about their purpose as being strictly to make phone calls. So some of these early phones here with the antennas, you would use just to make a phone call. There would be no texting, no internet surfing, no games. As time progressed, we were able to see additional features on those cell phones, but those came slowly and with costs. So you think about those first cell phones that were Wi-Fi capable and had the texting compatibilities. You would have to pay for those services, not what we see today with unlimited access, roaming, texting, everything. Those early phones, while we don't see those first initial phones, the ones that came out initially that were like bricks, these ones were really large, quite big. When you put it up to the face, it was just overpowering. It seemed like the transition went from these big phones to smaller flip phones, things that you could easily shove into your pockets. And then what we see where we're going back now is bigger phones, substantial sizes, which make them easier to use. So we kind of saw that period of going really big to really small, shove it in your pocket, it's out of sight, to being back and larger. Those initial screens on these phones, when we think about those were just, screens. If you wanted to scroll around, you would have to use your up and down buttons to be able to scroll, see what you were interested in. Versus the phones nowadays, everything is a touch screen. You log into it with your fingerprint, with Touch ID. Everything is just at your fingertips. Another thing about those early phones that did have some of the functionality to allow you to text, it was all using big chunky number pads to get to your keyboard. Or some of them would have, like, I remember I had a chocolate phone that you could slide it out and you could have the big keyboard. It was a keyboard, like the QWERTY keyboard, just on the phone, just a smaller version. So we have size, screens. We touched briefly on the things they can do when we were talking about those early functionality of the costs associated with those. But, you think about the first phones strictly for calls. Some of the, I think it was probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, where you had the texting, you had some internet capabilities. Some of the phones would just be for gaming, very remedial type of games. Or we think about now, we can use the phones to take pictures, to record videos, send emails, text, search whatever we're interested in. So, there's been a tremendous evolution. And also with like the early phones, you think about like, a fully charged new phone is going to give you about 20 hours of talk time versus that first phone that came out from Motorola in 1983. It had 30-minute talk time. So, tremendous advancements. And those first phones took 15 years to come out versus now, every year Apple is coming out with a new phone. And there you have it. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another episode of Tech Then versus Now. If you like this video, leave a like. And this is Taylor, and I'll see you next time.